This season, it's all about my road to AAPEX. In each episode, we're going to feature a new CEO visiting a shop and getting dirty with the technicians themselves. This week, I am joined by Matt Buchholz of MotoRad. And I guess he's got a little bit of a technician background,
yeah,
so it's good
right.
to see you. So Matt, we have actually met before at AAPEX.
That's right.
And I also heard you've got a little bit of a technician background. You know, the funny thing is I actually started in this shop in 1998. So I guess I'm showing my age. I don't want to talk about it.
It is good to be here with you then.
Yeah,
this is great.
And this is fun because now we're getting you involved with repairs with your product. So talk a little bit about what MotoRad has to offer today in the aftermarket.
Yeah, well, it's good to be back in the shop with you and to talk about MotoRad. I also started in the shop just like you. I didn't start in this shop.
Well, that's okay.
But,
yeah.
but I started in a shop,
Okay.
and I was a master technician early in my career before I got into the parts side of the business. And so long before MotoRad.
Even though you're a CEO now, you know what it was like back in these shops and the trials and tribulations of working on vehicles. So how does that perspective help you as a CEO today?
In the very beginning, before I started turning wrenches and working on cars, I was a service advisor, and I realized that technicians knew a lot more than I did about cars. And I felt like in order to lead well, I needed to know exactly how to do the work.
Yeah.
Like get your hands dirty, roll up your sleeves and do the work. And so I did that for years and years, and became a master technician.
That's great.
And yeah, so I feel like I have a unique position where leading a parts manufacturer, I've installed the parts.
It really gives you that perspective on it. So, you know, obviously this year we're going to be at AAPEX again. I've seen you the past 4 years. You guys have been a sponsor 4 years in a row. We love having you guys on board. Love going to your booth and seeing all the new products. Talk about what AAPEX does for you and what you hope to get out of AAPEX every year. What's your kind of goal with it?
AAPEX for us is the highlight of the year because we get to meet with the entire industry. Everybody comes together. All in one place.
Yeah.
And we get to gather, we get to talk about whatever the challenges are in the industry, how we're going to overcome them together, and how the industry is going to continue to grow and flourish and innovate as we move to the future.
What does the future look like for you guys?
We're every year we get more excited about the future. As we talk about something like we've added products, we've got into evaporative emissions, which is an extension of our emissions category. There's other innovations as current products and vehicles continue to innovate and add more and more embedded technology. We follow that technology curve and continue to innovate and push the limits on what we can do. So over the next several years, we'll continue to release products, innovate the technology inside of those products, and really give shops like this what they're looking for. At the end of the day, a shop is just they want to open up a box and take out a quality part and fix the car. It's a really simple thing.
Well, it just happens to be interesting that now that you guys are getting into evaporative emissions, that we've got a vehicle that needs a canister. And I don't know if you're used to Ohio rust cars, but could be a challenge for you. So you're going to get your hands a little dirty, I think, with Mark. So let me go introduce you to my friend Mark.
Let's do it.
All right.
Can't wait to meet him.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Joe.
What's going on, buddy?
Nice
to introduce you to Matt Buchholz, CEO
nice
of
to meet you,
MotoRad.
Matt.
Hey, Mark,
This is going to be
Nice to meet you.
the gentleman that's going to be assisting you. So let me give you a little bit of background about Mark Waggaman. Mark Waggaman and myself, we started within a week of each other way back in 1998. We were pups, and we've really grown up together, and Mark has established himself as one of the lead technicians, as far as I'm concerned, probably in the United States. He is a ASE-certified world-class technician, the highest and the best of the best.
You've been around a lot of techs, so that's saying something about Mark, so I'm excited to work with Mark.
I would be more than excited to work with him if I were you as well. So he's going to go ahead and go with that canister replacement with you. And again, you're in good hands with Mark. Mark, show him what's up.
All right.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, guys. We'll see you after the repair.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes. All right, Matt. So we got a leaky canister here, and it's kind of tucked up in there, but it's not too bad to get to. So
It is up there, a little bit of rust.
a little bit of rust, yes. In northeast Ohio here, we got some rust. So, but let me turn some light on here, and
Perfect.
just a couple of lines and a couple of bolts, and should be coming on out. So.
This is great. Well, how did you get into doing this? I heard
go back. I actually, growing up, my dad always tinkered in the garage and stuff like that. So I'd go out there and I remember I was 8 years old and I was out there helping him do engine swaps and stuff. So he got me into it and just progressed from there.
Doing it ever since.
Yep. Yeah.
That's great. So what do we need here to get it out?
All right, got a couple wrenches here, and let's just make sure these bolts break loose here. That's gonna be our biggest. All right, that's good. All right.
Oh, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Lucky day.
All right, good. Yeah.
2 for 2.
So you wanna just finish taking these out here, and I'll work on getting the lines loose on the other side there.
That'd be great.
Get up in here.
So was your dad just an enthusiast, or did he do it for work as well?
No, mainly just an enthusiast. He worked in a body shop for a while, making limousines and stuff like that for the airport.
Oh, no kidding.
And then
You don't see those as often these days.
no. So did that and just always been in the mechanical end of it. What about you? What's your background? How'd you get involved with parts in that?
Well, similar to you, when I bought my first truck, and my dad would help me. He was very handy, so he'd help me work on it.
Okay.
Taught me how to do basic maintenance. I had to do all my own maintenance.
Uh-huh.
And the truck I bought needed a lot of maintenance.
Yes.
So and then when I was in high school, needed a job for a program that I was in, and the first place that hired me was it was an automotive shop.
Okay.
And I've been in automotive ever since. So I started out as an oil change technician, and years later became a master technician.
There you go. It's it. Same here. Started out changing oil.
I'll tell you, one thing that drove that decision was I realized I started out as a service advisor.
Okay.
And I realized that technicians were a lot smarter than I was. So I felt like, hey, to be a good service advisor, to be in this industry, I needed to know what I was doing.
Yeah, it helps.
It does help.
Especially when it comes to explaining to the customers a repair.
That's right.
Yeah, I really enjoy I like the challenge of diagnosing a problem and then fixing it.
Yeah, we've been supplying these parts to the market for a long time, these evaporative emissions products.
Oh yeah.
Continue to expand them.
Now, do you guys do any other products?
We do. We have, in total, we probably have 6,000 different products.
Oh, okay.
We get into emissions, ignition, thermal management, engine management. So quite a few different products, but it's good to be on this side of the car. Usually we're under the hood.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you under the car or under the hood typically?
Typically, it's under the hood. Pretty much anywhere we need to diagnose some things, but typically it's under the hood. Get up in here. Yeah, you got to squeeze the little fingers, and sometimes they get a little dirt up in there. There we go.
All right.
All right, we got it out.
Nothing to it.
Not bad. One more bolt here, and
so we just need to transfer the bracket.
yeah.
We got to take this one off.
Yep. All right, 3 for 3.
Well, what do you do when you break them off? It's got to be common here. You're probably an expert welder.
Yeah. You use some welding, weld nuts onto the end of the broken bolt and spin it out. And sometimes you got to just bust out the drill bits and drill them out and retap them.
What do you see with cars these days? Do they accumulate the same amount of rust from when you started, or are they?
The newer cars are a little bit better with rust preventative stuff that they have. So not too bad. Like the brake lines and the fuel lines, they've seemed to have coated them with anti-rust stuff, and so it makes it a little bit nicer for us.
Right.
Less broken bolts. All right, we'll slide that into the bracket there.
Yeah, when you think about some of the changes that you've seen in the industry over the last 30 years, what type of changes have you seen?
With vehicles?
Yeah, with vehicles, technology, and
technology is just overtaking everything. It's getting a little overcomplicated for certain things and stuff. Some things that used to be very simple, and now you get into the circuit and you're like, wait, what? It goes through 3 different modules, Right. So it's a little frustrating on that end sometimes, but definitely the technology end of it. I mean, it's almost, people don't even want to, leave their cars. It's like they got so many amenities in there: heated, cooled seats, massaging seats.
Right.
You can watch TV. Yeah, it's all
A lot of things that can break, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess nowadays everybody wants to push a button and something happens.
That's exactly it. And when their Bluetooth doesn't work,
It comes to you.
goodness, yeah, it's the end of the world. Let's get those lined up.
Yeah, 30 years ago, people were still rolling their windows down.
Yeah, yeah. Now you can give a command and roll your windows down.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Use voice command?
Yes. That's great. I think that's it there.
Yeah, that is definitely a change. It all happened pretty quick too. And then of course you're working on EVs and hybrids.
Yep, and then you got the autonomous driving cars, and there you go. That one's good. All right. It's back in there. It's nice to see, owners of companies that can get their hands in here, get them dirty, and actually, know what they're doing. Sometimes, you talk to people that own a company and they really don't understand the product and stuff, and it makes it harder on our end. But when you have somebody that has some background in the automotive industry, it makes the products nicer.
Yeah, it helps. It helps to understand too.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you're buying products or going to install a product? What gives you like the trust, absolute trust in a product?
Well, as soon as I unbox the canister, I see that it looks very similar to the factory canister, which is always nice.
Yeah.
They usually just bolts in and all the connections hook up and everything's great. And you can tell it feels like a quality product.
Right.
There's some that you get and the last resort kind of thing. You're like,
When you take them out of the box, you're like, you question whether or not it's gonna, it's gonna fix it.
Yes, exactly.
So you feel like you have a pretty good sense of whether or not it's a quality product right when you take it out of the box.
Yeah. But this definitely looks like a quality product.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We put like I said, a big effort into it. So what do we need to do? We need to connect these.
Just a couple connections up here, and
can you reach those? Or?
Yeah, maybe.
I think I can get it.
Okay. This one here, there we go. Down out of the way. Now that other one should push on there.
All right. Oh yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Where does that one go? Right there? Right,
Yep.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh, nice. You made that look easy.
Yeah.
Like
A little experience.
It's like you've done it before.
Yes. Perfect. Nice clip.
There we go.
Yep.
Clip back on.
Perfect. And that's it.
We have these canisters. We also have the canister purge valves, which might
Those
be
also
replaced
go bad.
more common. Right?
Yeah.
It's common for a canister purge valve to go bad.
Yep, absolutely. This should fix our leak right here.
Oh, that's great. You made it look easy. You're great. I can tell you know what you're doing.
Well, good quality product helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So MotoRad launched evaporative emissions products within the last couple of years, and we did that because there was a need in the market. The market, some of our key market partners said that they wanted a better product, better service, and so we stepped up to the challenge. It was so refreshing today to get to spend time with Mark installing one of those products, and just to be there shoulder to shoulder with him. He gets to do it every day, but to have the privilege to get to install the part with him today truly was a privilege. We worked on it for years. We worked on the product development for years. Of course, we work on the supply chain and the manufacturing of that product. We made financial investments. We've seen sales through our P&L. We've seen satisfaction with our customers. We focus on all of the different KPI, but it's so much fun just to go put the part on the car. And that's what it's all about. So I'm thankful that I had this opportunity leading up to AAPEX to partner with Babcox, spend time with Mark, and yeah, it was a gift.